Our top focus this hour, the Balakot terror camp in Pakistan, which was targeted by the Indian Air Force in February last year, has once again reopened to train terrorists and launch more attacks. According to sources, the camp's operation this time will be predominantly focused on anti-India operations. Terror group Jaish-e-Mohammed's operatives will be trained at this camp, which is located inside Pakistan. At the reopening of the camp, two brothers of Jaish chief Masood Azhar were also present. To avenge the Pulwama attack, the Indian Air Force, with the backing of the government, had earlier conducted an airstrike at the Balakot Terror Training Centre on February 26 last year. This was the second major cross-border response from India in the aftermath of a major terror attack in less than 3 years. The first such response was a surgical strike across the line of control in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir in 2016, just days after the terror attack at the Uri base camp of the Indian Army. For more insights, former High Commissioner and former Information Advisor at the Prime Minister's Office, G. Parthasarathy, joins us live. Welcome, Mr. Parthasarathy, and thanks for joining us on this broadcast. I'd like you to weigh in on this rather alarming news development. The terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed has resumed the Balakot terror camp. What does this say about Pakistan's weak stand on terrorism and its blatant funding of terrorists?
Let us be very clear of one thing. The main terrorist group funded by the ISI was the Lashkar-e-Taiba. But when we turned the heat on them in the Financial Action Task Force, they felt it. And because the Lashkar or American citizens were also killed, Lashkar members were facing trial in America, some had been sentenced. So the international pressure grew on the Lashkar. That happened. The Hafiz Mohammad Shahid has been sent into quiet retirement. Though people claim that he's been tried, that's a load of rubbish. Nobody will dare to try him in Pakistan because he's the man who knew too much and would totally expose the ISI. So he has been pushed to a corner, and the Jaish-e-Mohammed has been brought in. The Jaish-e-Mohammed, you should remember, was earlier known as the Harkatul Mujahideen. ISI backed, but Barelvi, whereas the other one was Wahhabi in its orientation. Now, the Jaish, as I said, operates out of central Punjab, and its leader, Maulana Masood Azhar, was released by us during the hijacking of IC-814. He something which we perhaps should not have done. But when we released him, he formed a second unit made up of Barelvis based in central Punjab. That is the Jaish-e-Mohammed. So the Jaish-e-Mohammed is the substitute for Lashkar-e-Taiba. In fact, that had been happening for a few years. So I am not surprised at all, and they will act blatantly.
Right.
All I would say at this stage, and I'd not like to say more, Pakistan should be careful of doing these things because we've done it once before, and no wise man repeats the same procedure twice. And this time, if we we'll hit them with greater accuracy.
Right.
So,
now you
let's wait. Let's wait and see. First, of course, this will have to be taken up with the Financial Action Task Force, so that Jaish is put into the same position as the Lashkar.
You mentioned the FATF and international pressure just now. Pakistan recently used a loophole in the UNSC and was allowed to pay close to 1.5 lakh rupees a month to the 2611 Mumbai attack planner. What more evidence is needed for global bodies to hold Pakistan accountable for time and again funding terror?
You know, the fact of the matter is that the FATF acts by consensus.
Right.
And don't forget that Pakistan's all-weather friend China is a member. So you have to take people along diplomatically. If we could do it for the Lashkar, we can do it to Jaish. Incidentally, the new Defense Secretary who has been nominated by President Biden headed the Central Command at the time when the operations were carried out to take out Osama bin Laden. So they're going to have a Defense Secretary who knows a lot about Pakistan sponsorship of terrorism. So let's wait. There is no hurry. They'll take time. They will face casualties when they come in. And we can always take them out. And we can do it with greater precision now if they stay on in Balakot than we did it the last time.
Right. Now, Mr. Parthasarathy, you mentioned FATF. It has come up again. The global watchdog put Pakistan under the scanner for terror financing earlier. Can we expect any greater action from global bodies now that this video has surfaced, where slogans are being chanted against India?
I think we'll have to make out a very strong case on the Jaish-e-Mohammed, which is not difficult. The thing is, the Lashkar made things easier for us because they killed a number of American citizens in the Mumbai attack. So, yeah, we'll find a way, and I'm sure we can work up enough support because people are fed up of Pakistan-sponsored terrorism.
Absolutely.
There's been some talk in the Pakistan media, which I laugh at, that once Biden comes, things are going to be hunky-dory. He's going to be different from President Trump, more conventional, but with a very fine team who know all Pakistan's tricks in the trade on terror financing. These are guys who've served in the White House. So I'm not too worried on the diplomatic score. We'll have to carry others with us. But once we would have to make, the problem in the Jaish-e-Mohammed attack was no foreigners were killed in their attacks. In the case of the Lashkar, there was international attention because, Americans, Singaporeans, a lot of people were killed who were foreigners then in Mumbai. So it'll take time, but I'm sure we can work it out because we've got some success in the UN, and let's see how we go ahead.
Right. My final question, Mr. Parthasarathy, what is more alarming in this video is that two brothers of Jaish chief Masood Azhar were also present at the terror camp. So how will the Indian government respond to this?
Well, that's nothing new. It has always been a family enterprise for Masood Azhar, especially after he returned when we released him. As I said, I repeat, it was not exactly the wisest thing we did when I was involved in the negotiations earlier. The thing is that we'll now have to learn to be tougher, which we are. But if they open Balakot again, we can take it out in half a minute. So they'd better be careful about that. That's why I think I will wait and see if that is just a secondary move on this. I don't think they'll be that stupid. But the fact of the matter is that the Jaish now is their fundamental instrument for terrorism in India, not just Jammu and Kashmir. Don't forget that the first attack on our parliament, which almost took us to war in 2001, was the attack on our parliament. That was Jaish.
Right. Mr. Parthasarathy, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on this broadcast and for all your precious inputs.